Gary Ainsworth, Shawnee Lanning. Cone that sits on the tire in turn 4 marks the start of the race. That's where the race starts, and we are featured racing at I-35 Speedway. Gary Ainsworth, Shawnee Lanning, they battle into turn number 1. Ainsworth takes the lead. Lanning looks for a crossover as Leroy Morrison and John Ross make contact. Ross has got his back quarter panel all over the racetrack right now, but we stay green. Ainsworth on the top side, Shawnee Lanning on the bottom as the 5 of Gottfried goes around, and that'll collect the 99 of Sarah Martin. Big contact over on turn number 3. So again, it's Gary Ainsworth and Shawnee Lanning, John Ross, Bobby Lopez, Leroy Morrison, Charlie Brown, Bubba Beam, Caleb Pugh, Jeff Gottfried, and Sarah Martin, your field. They work to turn number 4, and we are racing again in the E-Modifieds. And again, your 2 front row competitors will battle into turn number 1. Lanning will do the exact same thing she tried last time. This time she'll get a better run, but Gary Ainsworth gets a better launch, and he leads into turn number 3. Ainsworth is working on the top side, Lanning on the bottom. Ross in third, Leroy Morrison, he's working by for that 4th position. Caleb Pugh, they're 3 wide in the turn number 1 contact between Morrison and Lopez. Caleb Pugh there as well. As Pugh works up, he'll slide up in front of Lopez, and Lopez is headed towards the back as the 8S of Pugh also slides back, as now Shawnee Lanning around in front of the field, and everyone able to avoid 1 lap in the books, but your 2nd place runner, the 09 of Shawnee Lanning.
Hopefully they're not going to do what...
Works into turn number 4. Ainsworth chooses where he wants to restart the race. That is now. We're back to green flag racing. Leroy Morrison, he'll take 2nd away from John Ross. Morrison can now go after the 50 of the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. Charlie Brown slips up, and that allows Caleb Pugh into that 4th position. But off of turn number 4, lap number 1 of the restart, lap 2 of the race, goes to the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. As now we've got contact on the front stretch, the 5 of Jeff Gottfried and the 74 of Bubba Beam make contact, and that'll bring out another caution here in your E-Modified feature.
They start in turn 4.
As off of 4, the field is back to racing. Gary Ainsworth, he'll lead the field in 1. Leroy Morrison, he'll slot into 2nd. John Ross works the bottom of the racetrack. This time, Charlie Brown will take over the 4th position as he looks to move into 3rd. He'll look to the outside of John Ross in 3rd. Here comes Leroy Morrison. He looks to the inside of the 14 of Gary Ainsworth off of turn number 4. At the line, lap 1 of the restart, lap 3 of the race, goes to the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. Ainsworth still working the top side. Morrison working the middle. Morrison still 2nd. John Ross in 3rd is now Charlie Brown. He'll get a run off of turn 2. Not able to get to the outside of Ross. As now Ross will go around. It'll collect the CP3. And the 99 of Martin and the 5 of Gottfried will spin to avoid, but another caution out on the racetrack here. Is Ainsworth, Leroy Morrison, John Ross, Caleb Pugh, and Shawnee Lanning, your top 5. As the field rolls into 3, they'll look off of 4. Gary Ainsworth will start the race now, and we're E-Modified racing again at I-35 Speedway. Ainsworth will get about a car length on Morrison into turn number 1. They'll both go right up to the cushion. That's where Morrison will stick, but the drive goes to the 14. He'll get a couple car lengths down the back straightaway. Ainsworth and Morrison there have separated themselves by a couple car lengths over the 64 of Ross, and lap number 1 of the restart, lap 4 of the race, goes to the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. Ainsworth still working the cushion. Leroy Morrison, a little bit of a slip there. He'll fall back a couple more car lengths. John Ross further back in 3rd. Caleb Pugh in 4th. And Shawnee Lanning in 5th. Bubba Beam up into that 6th position. Jeff Gottfried 7th. Charlie Brown 8th. And Sarah Martin in 9th. The battle on the racetrack. We've got one for 3rd. We've got one for 5th. As it's now Shawnee Lanning that gets a little bit loose. Bubba Beam unable to take advantage of that. She'll hang on to the 5th position as Leroy Morrison still right there. All over the back bumper of the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. This time by our 6 and 6 to go halfway for Gary Ainsworth. He's led every lap so far. He's working the top side of the racetrack. Leroy Morrison, he's still within striking distance. John Ross is a ways back in third, as now Leroy Morrison, he's going to look for a crossover off of 4. Don't give him that time by. It's still Gary Ainsworth at the line, as now the CB3 of Charlie Brown is around in the middle of 3 and 4. He'll keep that car fired. We'll stay green out on the Speedway. That's what Leroy Morrison and Gary Ainsworth wanted to see, is now Leroy Morrison, a little bit of a tap to the back bumper, as now the 8S of Caleb Pugh is around in front of the field, and will bring out another caution here at I-35 Speedway. Field works into turn number 4, and we are back to E-Modified racing at I-35 Speedway. It's a good start from Gary Ainsworth. He'll go back to about that car length lead. He's got 5 more circuits around I-35. As further back, contact between Caleb Pugh and Charlie Brown. They keep that car straight. Caleb Pugh, it looks like that car has broke over there in turn number 2. Hopefully he can get that car off of the racetrack. Is off of turn 4. Lap 1 of the restart, lap 8 of the race. Still, Gary Ainsworth is your leader. This time into turn 1. Leroy Morrison thinks about taking the inside line. Can't get it to work, as Caleb Pugh did get that car off of the racetrack. We stay green. Shawnee Lanning, she's to the inside of the 64 of Ross. She'll give him a door and move Shawnee Lanning into that 3rd position, as now she's on the charge. She's got 3 laps to catch her top 2. As Shawnee Lanning, just as I say that, she gets loose. John Ross moves back to her inside. Move him back to 3rd, as now Leroy Morrison. He's into the back bumper of the 14 of Ainsworth. We're 2 to go this time by. We've seen Leroy Morrison. He's not afraid to throw a slider. He'll try to cross it over this time off of turn 2. Ainsworth now knows Morrison is there. It's a car length into turn number 3. Morrison up at the cushion. Gary Ainsworth there as well. Morrison drops to the inside. The white flag is out. We've got one more circuit around I-35 Speedway. Leroy Morrison, he's got a lap in hand before he's able to get going, because now the 5J of Jeff Gottfried is around. He'll take it off the racetrack. We stay green. As no, we will go yellow for the 64 of John Ross. And that's going to be a thing that Leroy Morrison wanted to see, is the yellow came out on your top 5. 2 laps to go, as it will be a green-white checkered for your E-Modifieds. They roll into 3. They'll look to 4. Gary Ainsworth gets on the gas early. Leroy Morrison not quite ready for it, but Morrison gets a good jump. He recovers well. It's a half car length into turn number 1. Morrison goes to the top. He's going to look to cross over. He'll look to the middle, as now Bubba Beam and Shawnee Lanning contact in turn number 2, and that'll bring out another caution here in your E-Modifieds.
You just need to hold her up.
So it's Gary Ainsworth, Leroy Morrison, as Shawnee Lanning not able to get back out on the racetrack. We're back to green flag racing. It's a good restart from both your front row. They'll drive away from the rest of the field, so it'll be a 2-car battle into turn number 1. Leroy Morrison bounces it off the cushion. He'll look to the inside. Charlie Brown tries to take 3rd. He'll take 4th. But again, it's Leroy Morrison. Gary Ainsworth into turn number 3. Leroy Morrison continues to work to the inside. It's now Charlie Brown over the berm, as the white flag is out. Leroy Morrison and Gary Ainsworth will battle. Morrison on the inside. Ainsworth up on the top side, as they'll battle down the back straightaway. Leroy Morrison will work into the inside. He'll try to give it one more shot at it, but Gary Ainsworth is going to run a perfect race. And your E-Modified winner tonight's the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. 2nd will be the 50 of Leroy Morrison. 3rd, the 99 of Sarah Martin. 4th, the 64 of John Ross. And then it'll be the 74 of Bubba Beam. As off of turn number 4, the green is out for your Show Me Vintage racer Steve Hughes to lead the field into turn 1. He will take the lead away from Rocky Rhodes. Rhodes slides up a little bit as the field scrambles around the 1 car of Doran Clevenger. As he slips up, he will fall back to 6, but it's Hughes, Rhodes, Schmidt, and then Damon Clevenger. He's your big mover early. He's looking for 3rd. He's going to try to take 2nd off of turn 4, but leader lap 1 is the 5 of Steve Hughes. Hughes works on the outside. Rocky Rhodes 2nd. Damon Clevenger 3rd. Dan Schmidt 4th. Mike Johnson in 5th, as here comes Damon Clevenger. He's to the inside of Rhodes, as there's still some grip down there on the bottom of the racetrack, and Damon Clevenger is proving that he will take 2nd away from Rhodes, and now have his sights set on the 5 of Steve Hughes. Hughes works the top side of the racetrack. Damon Clevenger on the inside. Rhodes still third. Dan Schmidt still fourth. As right now is a 4-car race. Up front as Steve Hughes slips up, and Dan Schmidt will spin that car around, and that'll bring out the caution on the racetrack. Lights are out. We'll go green off of turn number 4. As it's Steve Hughes that leads the field to the green, he'll stick right up next to the cushion, and he'll get a good jump, but Damon Clevenger's right there with him. The two will go nose to tail into turn number 1. Clevenger will bounce it off the cushion. He'll drive underneath the 5 of Steve Hughes and give Damon Clevenger the lead off of turn 2. Clevenger's got the fastest car on the racetrack in that 6 machine. Now he's got the lead as Mike Johnson all sorts out of shape over in turn 4. He'll keep that car righted. We stay green. As now the 6 of Damon Clevenger, it looked like that car stumbled a little bit off of turn number 2. Steve Hughes back there in second. Rocky Rhodes in third. This time by we're 4 and 8 to go. Damon Clevenger, Steve Hughes, Rocky Rhodes, Doran Clevenger, and Dan Schmidt, your top 5. As Steve Hughes is not letting this one slip away quite yet. Damon Clevenger continues to lead out front. He's working the top side of the racetrack. Steve Hughes, he's trying the middle. He's trying different lines, trying to find a way back to the back bumper of the 6 of Damon Clevenger. Clevenger works down the back straightaway. Steve Hughes will drive it in deep into turn number 3. He'll close up a couple more car lengths, see if he can keep the momentum rolling through 3 and 4. As this time by we're halfway and 6 and 6 to go. Now Rocky Rhodes, he's going to throw his hat back in the mix of this one as he's back to the back bumper, the 5 of Steve Hughes. As the 20 of Mike Johnson will call it a race. Pull that car to the infield is now Rocky Rhodes. He's to the outside of Steve Hughes as the two battle off a turn number 4. Steve Hughes on the inside, Rocky Rhodes on the outside at the line. It's too close to call, and both of them still catching the back bumper of the 6 of Damon Clevenger. Rhodes looks to take that position off a 2. He will move the 8 of Rocky Rhodes into that second position. Steve Hughes back to third, and both of them still within striking distance of the 6 of Clevenger, as Steve Hughes has now battled back to the inside of Rhodes into turn number 1. Hughes works the bottom, Rhodes works the middle to top of the racetrack, as if these two can settle that second position, the 6 may have faded a little bit, and one of these two could go challenge him, but they're going to have to settle it between themselves first, as we're 9 and 3 to go. Rocky Rhodes now works the outside. Steve Hughes slides up, gets stuck in the slick stuff as now Rocky Rhodes clears, but that allowed Damon Clevenger to open up more of a gap between the two of them, and there will be 2 to go this time by for the 6 of Damon Clevenger. Clevenger still leads. Rocky Rhodes now in second. He's got a fast race car, but time is running out for that 8 machine. He spent too much time trying to work around the 5 of Steve Hughes. As this time off a turn number 4, the white flag will go skyward for the 6 of Damon Clevenger. Clevenger had to start in that 5th position, was able to work to the lead early, and then work his rhythm out on the racetrack and never get too much of a lead, but keep the pace steady and smooth for him as off of turn number 4. Your Show Me Vintage feature winner tonight will be the 6 of Damon Clevenger. Second will be the 8 of Rocky Rhodes. Third will be the 5 of Steve Hughes. Fourth will be the 6X of Dan Schmidt, and then rounding out your top 5 is the 1 of Doran Clevenger. Race fans, let's give a big round of applause to your Show Me Vintage feature. JR lights are out as they lead the field to green. We are Grand National racing at I-35 Speedway. It's a good start from your front row, but Colton Leal will lead Michael Leal in a turn number 1. He'll go to the cushion. That's where Houston Johnson is as well, but Michael Leal gets the drive in the middle, but Colton Leal gets the drive off the top, off the corner. He leads into turn 3. The 213 cars still battle side by side off of turn number 4. At the line, give it to the 13 JR of Colton Leal. He goes right back to the cushion. Michael Leal rolls the bottom. This time off a turn 2. Michael Leal tries to get the drive, but again, the outside momentum works for the 13 JR. As Colton Leal works off a turn number 4, this time at the line, it's still a battle, and the 13 JR of Colton Leal leads that time in a turn number 1, but Houston Johnson, he's rolling the top side. He's got a car that is working up there against the cushion, as now Colton Leal has cleared Michael Leal for the lead, as Houston Johnson now tries to work to the outside of the 13, but a good drive through turn 2 keeps that 13 car of Michael in second. Colton Leal still up top. It's now Houston Johnson makes a mistake, slides up, has to get on the binders to keep that car out of the wall. So your 213 cars, Colton and Michael, separate themselves a little bit from the 97 of Houston Johnson. This time by 4 and 6 to go. Colton Leal, he works the top side. Michael Leal on the bottom is the 6 of Chris Klein. We'll call it a race. We'll pull that car to the infield. Tough break for the 6 car. The 13 JR of Colton Leal is now dealing with the 13 of Michael Leal, who's got that car rolling on the bottom at the line. It's still Colton Leal in the 13 JR. These 2 cars come off of the same trailer. As Colton Leal still leads into turn 3, he'll try to get to the bottom, roll the bottom, as Houston Johnson still up there at the cushion trying to find a way back to your top 2. 6 laps in that time by 4 to go for your Grand Nationals. Colton Leal still leads. Michael Leal still second. Houston Johnson third. John Hansen runs 4th. The 20 of Chad Fuller, he's in 5th. As off of 4, now you're going to have to work around lap traffic. That's the 99 L of Michael Johnson Jr. Colton Leal able to work around him. Michael Leal as well. They'll have to move Houston Johnson off of the cushion, as now Colton Leal, he's starting to drive away with this one. Colton Leal work in the middle of the racetrack, slides it up to the cushion off of turn number 4. 2 to go this time by for that 13 JR. Colton Leal, he'll work off of turn number 2. Michael Leal still within striking distance, but is going to have to do something quickly to catch up to Colton in that 13 JR is off of turn number 4. The white flag will be pointed skyward. Colton Leal's got one more trip around I-35 Speedway before he picks up the Grand National feature. Michael Leal will try to work the bottom one more time. Houston Johnson still up next to the cushion, is down the back straightaway. Colton Leal may catch lap traffic in the 20 car. He'll still try to work the middle of the racetrack. Is off of 4. Your Grand National feature winner tonight's the 13 JR of Colton Leal. Second will go to the 13 of Michael Leal. Third, the 97 of Houston Johnson, is the yellow flags for the 99L of Michael Johnson Jr. That'll lock the field, so John Hansen finishes in the 4th position, and the 20 of Chad Fuller finishes 5th.
Zarda Barbecue and 016 Men's Set. Here comes your Pure Stocks.
As it's Bo Wells and Cody King, your front row, Ron Hill, Travis Cadwater, row number 2, as the Pure Stocks are underway, and we are racing at I-35 Speedway. Bo Wells, he gets a good start. He leads into turn number 1. Bo Wells, he uses the cushion. He's going to bring Cody King with him, but a good run for Ron Hill on the 72. He'll slide into second by a nose into turn 3. Ron Hill on the bottom, Cody King up top, Travis Cadwater, he's going to go even lower. We're going to look at 3 wide off of turn number 4 at the line. Cody King hangs on to second, but Bo Wells, he's your leader. Travis Cadwater will move up in front of the 72 of Ron Hill. Hill looks at the crossover, unable to make that stick as Anthony Hill, he takes the 5th position away from the 17R of Riley Fullers. Now Ron Hill, he'll loop that car in the middle of 3 and 4. He'll keep it fired. We'll stay green out on the racetrack as Mallory Stifler is up and over the berm. She will keep that car fired as well. We stay green out on the racetrack. Bo Wells, still your leader. Cody King in second. Travis Cadwater in third. Cadwater going to look to the inside of King into turn number 3. Cadwater rolls the bottom, but King, he works the top. King hangs on to second as Bo Wells still about 2 car lengths out in front of the rest of your Pure Stock field. So Wells is your leader. King second, Cadwater third. Anthony Hill in 4th. Riley Fuller in that 5th position is off of 4. We're going to be 4 laps in, 6 to go. Bo Wells still leads your Pure Stock feature. Bo Wells, Cody King, Travis Cadwalder, and Anthony Hill. That's your top 4. Right now it's a 4-car race up front. Bo Wells working the cushion. Cody King, he's up there at the cushion as well. Travis Cadwalder, he's down by the tires. Anthony Hill, he's at the cushion. We are 5 laps in, halfway. 5 more trips around I-35 for the 555 car of Bo Wells. So a lot of 5s out there on the racetrack right now. Bo Wells still up top. Cody King, he's closed that gap. It's about a car length between him and Wells off of 4. 6 in this time by 4 to go. This one is not settled yet. You still got a 4-horse race up front. Anthony Hill's going to need a little help. Travis Cadwalder still working the bottom of the racetrack. Cody King, he made a mistake. He falls back a couple more car lengths. Bo Wells now has some breathing room off of 4 with 3 to go. The M87 will hold her line to the inside. The rest of your field will work to the outside. They work around the lap traffic of Stifler. So your top 4 still right there as Bo Wells still has about 2 car lengths into turn number 3. 29 of Cody King will work the top side as it's still about a car length and a half. 2 to go for Bo Wells before he picks up 2 features in a row. He's going to have to work for this one as Cody King looks to try to get a good one off of turn 2. He'll stabilize that lead. He's better in 3 and 4 than Bo Wells is. If he can maintain in 1 and 2, he closes the gap in 3 and 4 as the white flag is in the air. One more trip around I-35 Speedway. It's now a car length between Cody King and Bo Wells. King goes to the top side. He's right there on the back bumper. Wells, that's half a car length, but a good corner for Wells will open it up to a car length and a half into turn 3. Cody King will drive to the top side. He's not going to get to Bo Wells. He'll try to cut it down the racetrack, but it's not going to be enough for 2 weeks in a row. The triple nickel of Bo Wells picks up your pure stock feature. Second will be the 29 of Cody King. Travis Cadwalder in the 69 will finish 3rd. Anthony Hill in the 124 finishes 4th. For that cone on the tire in turn number 4, green is out, and we are lightning sprint racing at I-35 Speedway. This time the field will start as the 2 of Kyle Lewis shuts the door on Jeff Bard. That'll open the door for Bobby Lane. He will roll right through that into 2nd. So it's Kyle Lewis, Bobby Lane, Jeff Bard, your top 3 into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, lap 1 of the race goes to the 2 of Kyle Lewis. Lewis out front, Bobby Lane 2nd, Jeff Bard 3rd is now Emma Martin having a good start to this one. She's already up into that 4th position, moves under the 4M of Chris Schofield. Your top 2 already separated themselves from the rest of the field. Kyle Lewis has a couple car lengths on Bobby Lane. 2 laps in, 8 to go. This time Bobby Lane, he'll drive right next to the tires and he'll drive right by the 2 of Kyle Lewis. So you've got a new leader into turn number 3, and off of turn number 4, the 0-1 of Bobby Lane. He has the lead. 3 laps in, 7 to go. Kyle Lewis is going to work back to the outside. He'll give it one last fight, but now Bobby Lane can look to open it up over the 2 of Lewis. Lane has won a lot of races here at I-35. He's won a ton of races in his career. He's looking for another one tonight. 4 laps in, 6 to go now for Bobby Lane in that 0-1. Kyle Lewis still sits 2nd. He's still within striking distance. Jeff Bard sits in that 3rd position. Emma Martin in the 2L sits 4th. The 4M of Chris Schofield 5th. Then running out your field is the 5 of Tyler Murray. This time by 5 in, 5 to go for Bobby Lane. He'll work the inside of the racetrack. Kyle Lewis, he's still within enough distance. If Lane makes a mistake, he can capitalize on it, but he's got to keep that distance where it is as off of 4. We're halfway, so my mistake. We've got 12 laps in this one, so we're 6 in, 6 to go. Emma Martin closing the gap to the 71 of Jeff Bard. As Bard got a big run off of turn 2, opened it back up. Is Bard a little bit loose over there in the entrance to turn number 3. It's starting to get really black and slick on the entrance to turn 3. Looks like it's the same way in turn 1 as there's still some grip off the corners as Bobby Lane still your leader into 3. They'll work off of turn number 4. Lane out front, 8 in, 4 to go. Bobby Lane, he's still out front. Kyle Lewis 2nd, Jeff Bard 3rd, Emma Martin in 4th as Bard's open that back up. Chris Schofield in 5th and Tyler Murray in 6th. This time by 3 more circuits for Bobby Lane before he picks up another Midwest Lightning Sprints feature. Bobby Lane has 6 wins and 11 starts at I-35 Speedway this season, looking to make it 7-4-12. As he's now got 2 to go, he'll work under the lap traffic of Tyler Murray in the 5 machine. Kyle Lewis still sits second. It's about a half straightaway lead for Lane. So barring an issue with any competitors or Bobby Lane's car, he's going to have clear sailing as we've got 1 more to go here at I-35. Kyle Lewis now will work under the lap traffic of Murray. He'll get by him cleanly. As down the back straightaway, Bobby Lane will work into turn 3 for the final time. He'll work through turn 4, and your Midwest Lightning Sprints feature winner for the 7th time this season's the 01 of Bobby Lane. Kyle Lewis in the 2-car finishes second. It'll be Jeff Bard in the 71 that brings home third. Emma Martin will work around turn number 4. She will take the 4th position, and Chris Schofield in the 4M will round out your top 5. So, race fans, let's give a big congratulations to your Midwest Lightning Sprints feature winner, the 01 of Bobby Lane. You're patient. You waited till that last lap to make your move.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to be able to get around him. I noticed he kept pushing off corners, so I was trying to make a move by entering higher, and it seemed to work out. And then on the last lap, he drifted up a little bit. And, of course, I'm going to drive it harder to try to win, but I didn't mean to hit him. I slid up. I got in the gas pretty early, and I guess we just caught doors. I didn't mean to do that. I really apologize for that, but it was one hell of a race.
Yeah, and you were working the bottom of the racetrack. It seemed like a lot of guys were working the middle to the top to try to keep the momentum working, but you found the grip down there on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, I tried the middle for a little bit, and it just was too slick. And once I got to the bottom, I found some moisture, and it worked out all in the end. So I just want to thank my sponsors, my dad especially, for bringing me out here. We just got this motor in Friday night to race up at Urbana, and I finished third down there. But this motor has 58 nights on it, so yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's your Mike Knight Memorial Sport Compact feature winner tonight, the 0 of Dakota Gerard. We had a lot of really good races tonight. You guys put on another show as you had Leroy Morrison right there all over your back bumper, but you held it steady up at the top of the racetrack and picked up the win tonight.
Yeah, we were pretty fortunate. We got a lot of tough competition in that class, and the drivability I don't have that much often, but I was glad to come across the checker first.
Yeah, did anyone like you to thank to help you pick up the win tonight?
Oh, yeah, my mom and dad and brother and nephew-in-law, Chris Mercer, Randy Ainsworth, and my girl Tammy. They got ZTM race cars, Prime Racing, Day Automotive, and the Jack's Racing the engines, Clay County Engine Rebuilders. We appreciate everybody that comes out and watches and helps and supports us. Couldn't do it without the fans.
Congratulations. That's your E-Modified feature winner tonight, the 14 of Gary Ainsworth. We'll now make our way to the young Austin O'Neill, and another very savvy race from you, as you were one of the only ones down on the bottom of the racetrack, but you just bided your time, you picked them off one by one, and found yourself in victory lane.
Yeah, I was kind of looking down there. I thought it was going to be good. I rolled out there, and I tried it, and worked out for us. It's always fun coming up here racing with Tim and everybody else. Jeff Dixon, that races up here weekly. Love his place. It's awesome.
Yeah, and you had to work a lot there on the bottom. It took you a lot of laps to be able to clear for the lead, but once you cleared for the lead, you're able to use a little bit more racetrack and kind of run away with it.
Yeah, I had to figure out how to run the bottom. Well, it's been a long time since I ran the bottom around here. Just had to get more consistent and hit my marks and drive away.
And anyone would like to thank that helped you pick up the win tonight?
Yeah, this week I lost my grandpa, and I know he's smiling down over me. So it's all for him. Casey Colors, Dot Spot Bar and Grill. Oh, I'm forgetting them all. Bob Morton, everything he's done for me. That's River Valley Ag. Burlington Auto Repair. That's to all of them. And my career, yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's your USRA Stock Car feature winner tonight, the 1 of Austin O'Neill. Down to the 0 of Chase Galvin, and what a wild B-modified race that was. You bided your time, you worked your way through the field, and then you were able to work those last couple restarts and run away with the restarts, get good ones, and ended up with a win tonight.
Yeah, we started about third row, fell back. I didn't think the car was going to be capable to win a feature, but then I just kept trying different lines, and then finally I got stuck on the top and started picking them off, and then I got control of the race and then that's easy. It's easy to get control. Once you get control, it's all yours. So, until you have competition, but we got it done tonight. So.
And as you mentioned, you were kind of stuck back there around that 6th position, but you got to the top side. Once you found the cushion, this car came alive, and you were able to work to the front.
Yeah, once we got up there to the cushion, and then we just started picking them off, and then got past the leader, and the caution came out, so he took my line, so I had to figure out a way around him. But once we got around him, we were smooth sailing from there.
And anyone you like to thank to help you pick up the win tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank my dad, my girlfriend, which is not here, but Prime Racing, James Bar and Grill, American Family, Jan's Lawn Care, Animal Cracker, and Kelly Eaton with the chiropractor. And that's it.
Congratulations. That's your USRA B Modified feature winner tonight, the Zero of Chase Galvin. We'll now make our way down to your national and just USRA competition. I believe this was your 17th feature win tonight, and you got out front. You were able to start up front, and this car, as it's been all season, was on a rail.
Yeah, it was real good. Tommy worked on it all week, found a bunch of stuff bent up that I'd kind of been neglecting, and made a few changes there for the feature, and it was pretty much spot on.
Yeah, and we look for just about 2 weeks from now, you've got the big USRA Nationals to try to wrap up that USRA Championship. What'd you learn tonight that can help you 2 weeks' time?
I don't know. That's why we came, was just to see where we stood or whatever. I don't know if we're going to change much on it. There's a few little things that we just didn't have time to do. I think that'll help a little bit, but we're pretty close.
And anyone you'd like to thank to help you pick up the win tonight?
Yeah, I think Thomas McCoy, Lance Town, Big Time Bell Bonds, Harold's Tire, Murphy Trucking, all my crew and everybody that came out, cheered us on. I'm going to forget some people. The airport, just everybody that helps out on this hot rod. I couldn't do it without everybody's help.
Well, congratulations. That's your USRA Modified feature winner tonight, the 87 of Darren Fuquay. Well, now we'll work our way to the 13 of Colton Leal. You had a good run in the B Modifieds tonight, but you pick up the win in the Grand Nationals tonight. You had a good race with Michael in this car. Just talk about that battle a little bit.
In this car? This car, we got to start on the outside, which definitely helped. It took me a little bit to find my line, but once we got up to the high side, I was getting a really good run off of 2. I couldn't really figure out what to do on 3 and 4, but I figured that if I was going to make somebody pass me, I wanted them to have to do it on the bottom, and it was just enough tonight.
And anyone would like to thank that helped you pick up your win tonight?
Definitely. I want to thank Eye Candy Designs, Track Shots by Angela, F&L Truck and Trailer Repair, Roscoe's Fur Buying, LJ Transfer, Great Plains Auto Body, Baldwin Racing Engines, and most of all, my dad. He puts in 99% of the work during the week while I'm away at school. He pays for everything that I come out here and break. He pays for all the fuel down here. He pays for my tires. He just does it all for me. I just get to do the fun part.
Well, congratulations. That's your Grand National feature winner tonight, the 13 JR of Colton Leal. Well, Bo Wells, it's 2 in a row for you here at I-35 Speedway. This one, you had to stay out front, and you had some guys you had to battle out there on the racetrack, but again, you just put it up at the top of the racetrack, and you're able to pick up another feature win.
Yeah, I knew on the start when me and Cody both won our heat races, there's going to be some pretty good competition with him back here tonight, and I kind of knew on the inside I was going to have to beat him to the first corner and get up on the top side, and I knew if I could do that, if I didn't mess up, I knew that I probably had a pretty good shot. So.
And anyone would like to thank to help you pick up your win tonight?
Oh, Brad Russell for sure. Kaylee here, she's pretty good luck too. I don't know, everybody that helps me, I guess. It's a blessing to come out here and win, especially twice in a row. It's a good feeling. So.
Congratulations. That is your Pure Stock feature winner tonight, the triple nickel of Bo Wells. So now we'll work to our Show Me Vintage Racer feature winner tonight, the Damon at Clevenger. Damon, you at the bottom of the racetrack. You methodically worked your way through the field, and then once you got out front, you found a pace that worked for you and pick up the win tonight.
Yeah, it was a good race. Took a little bit to get to the front, but car was hooked up pretty good tonight. Just want to say thanks to my dad and guys that come out and watch.
And anyone else you'd like to thank that works on this car to help you pick up the win tonight?
It's just me and my dad, really. They work on the car, and we just race out of our pocket, so no sponsors.
That is your Show Me Vintage feature winner tonight, the 6th of Dave. I-35 Speedway. It was a great night here at Casey's Night at the races. We'll be back at it next week for the final tune-up before the USRA Nationals. Be here next week at I-35 Speedway for more dirt track and at its best.